What's going down, people? How you doing? TK coming at you. Master Wealth Builders here on social media. And I just want to come at you guys with some general stuff today. Like, in your process of studying, for those people who do read and study, you have to study with an open mind and then dismiss or update your mind whenever you find something that is worthy of that update. So you stand on the foundation, take in everything, put it into your tool belt, and then when you find a need to update your tool belt, you update your tool belt, which is contrary to the way 1903 Rockefeller Foundation Board of Education philosophy section indoctrinates you to study. You know, school teaches you to study by believing everything that they give you and then not letting any information challenge what the school indoctrinated you with. And that's how most people study, and that's how most people reference any and everything in life. But I'm suggesting that you do the opposite. Take in information, let it all be a grain of salt, and then as you continue to experience life, update your tool belt with what is valid, you keep. What you find out is invalid, you don't. You know, throw it out. So in regards to studying, you know, a lot of times people have expectations. And I try not to do that when I reference information, because I don't want to get into a situation where something is interjected. You know, take in what you read, accept it, let it be what it is, but don't interject your own personality into what you're studying. So an example is the letter to President Obama, July 4th, 2014, that essentially, based on the vicar being the head of all service corporations, suspended and put in check the subsidiary corporations underneath him. But reading that letter and understanding what it describes has to be what you put into your tool belt, because the result of said letter, the result of reading the letter implies that the Pope has no power, because President Obama left office and stepped down. President Trump is basically operating as usual, you know, so essentially nothing has changed in the land. In reference to what the Pope said, absolutely nothing has been done and nothing has been heeded to. So all of the subsidiary corporations in which the Pope put in check operate with full immunity and basically have done absolutely nothing in regards to that letter. So if the Pope had any power, you could reference civil orders from Pope Francis 2004 or 2014 as stare decisis, an equivalent power. You could say, based on the Pope Civil Orders 2014, you are a de facto insolvent organization and have no authority nor jurisdiction. But because no organization has heeded, changed, or even flinched since 2014, it implies that the Pope has no fucking power and that everything is just going on as normal. So what you have to do is study with a grain of salt. Take in information, put it into your tool belt, and go from there. Because if you think about refuge, right, and you are going to use civil orders as a point of informational reference source, right? You could say, based on Civil Orders 2014 from Pope Francis, right? Or you could say based on the Clearfield Doctrine, and referencing some sort of refuge from the domestic terrorism by these de facto organizations. Now, one thing in contrast to the civil orders, I can say that in my studies, the Clearfield Doctrine is stare decisis. It actually is a civil case that happened in the Supreme Court and can be referenced within congressional records. Now, even though you can reference the civil orders by the Pope, nobody has fucking listened to it. So you have a stronger reference in the Clearfield Doctrine as stare decisis and a physical item that can be tracked in congressional records as opposed to civil orders by the Pope. But only thing I'm trying to say is study, put things into your tool belt, update your tool belt when you find a reason to update it, and don't use the Rockefeller Board of Education way of studying and indoctrinate yourself, or Stockholm Syndrome, to prevent yourself from learning new information or challenging what they put into your mind.